What's up, guys? Now, in this specific video, I'm gonna go through this simple ad setup. This is actually a course, a solidly course. This is where I teach my student how to become, paid media specialists, essentially, so they can run ads for companies, either Meta ads, Google ads, and so on. So this is what the course is focusing on. So obviously, when you create your campaign, you need to have your business objective. What is it that you're trying to to achieve, right? Are you trying to get more leads? Are you trying to get more sales? Are you just running your ad for awareness? And again, this will depend on your goal. Okay, so you need to have this what we call a smart goal. Your goal needs to be specific, it needs to be measurable, it needs to be achievable. Is it achievable, or is it not achievable? Is it relevant? And then is it time bound? That is why it's important to understand your monthly ad budget. Be like the budget that you're gonna be working on. How much is it, and how are you gonna allocate this budget to different marketing? I mean, how are you gonna allocate it to different marketing funnels? Either that's awareness, maybe that's like remarketing. How are you gonna allocate this budget? So you need to ask yourself certain questions before you can run an ad. Okay, so in our case, we're running a sales campaign. It's our objective. We're selling a course, so we need now to understand our prospects. Who are we targeting? Which areas are we targeting? And so on. So I was actually showing one of my students how to perform an A/B test and when to perform an A/B test, right? When to perform it and when not to perform it. So in our case here, we're gonna be using ad set budget, ad set budget optimization. So we're gonna allocate our budget from the ad set level, so that Meta can determine, the Meta algorithm rather can determine which creative is performing well, and then based on that, we can then optimize our ad and scale it gradually. Okay. So as you can see here, the A/B test on the campaign level has been switched off because we're not trying to test different campaigns, campaign objectives. Now, this right here, the issue with the test, never mind it. This is just me trying to show my student how an A/B test is performed, and it only ran for a day. Okay, so never mind this because we're not performing an A/B test, right? Now on our ad set level here, obviously we cannot edit some of the information because this campaign was already published. So obviously we maximizing the number of conversions. Now our data set, this is our pixel, not applicable NA pixel. I don't know why I named it that. It's only because I was doing something else at a specific time. I didn't want to confuse myself. But as you can see here, our pixel has been set up. And what we're looking at our conversion events, the number of initiate checkouts, how many people actually initiates the checkouts when they land on our landing page. It's the same as running a lead generation campaign where you're gonna try to figure out how many people called the company or how many people submitted a form. Okay, so now we're doing the same thing, but by checking how many people initiated the checkout. So this is our landing page. This is a landing page that we're gonna be using for this specific ad. So whenever they click this button, we're gonna drag the page that comes after. Whenever they click this button, okay. So we're gonna drag that specific page and then get the idea of how many people actually clicked this button. Now you need to have your offer in front of your prospects, right? So you don't want to add a button, a checkout button, without being specific with your pricing. You need to be specific with your pricing because what you will find is that a lot of people will click the button and not actually convert. They will not become your clients if your offer is not clear enough. And this is obviously based on experience. This is our landing page and so on. And as you can see, I have added a WhatsApp button. You can add it or you can remove it. I recommend removing it, unless it can be good for your business or it can just be a waste of time, because sometimes you're gonna get low quality prospects who's just gonna click the WhatsApp button and ask you questions. These are not really your customers, these are time wasters. So when they land on your landing page, you wanna make sure that they do the actions that you set them to do. Okay, you are in control, but the data um, will give you the clues of what to do and what not to do. So when it comes to the WhatsApp button, you can remove it or you can add it. But what I know about it is, as you trying to sell, because this is a sales campaign, you don't need to have a WhatsApp button. Okay, because you don't have time to answer questions. And again, when you're selling a course, most of the clients that I work with that sells a course, they already have a personal brand, where they become familiar with their clients, and that way their clients can buy their product without having any doubts. So if you want to sell a course, you need to again think about having a personal brand, so that you can resonate better with your clients, because when people see your ad, they won't buy at that specific time. That is why it is important to have a funnel on how you're gonna re-engage with these potential clients. Now, for us to re-engage with them, we're gonna re-engage with them based on the actions that they take on our landing page, like the checkouts that are being initiated, and so on. And also, we're gonna use tracking on Google Tag Manager to track for conversions. So I use different tools. I use Google Tag Manager and Meta Pixels for us to really come up with this. Now, as you can see here, our daily budget is 200 rands. That is our daily budget. And since we chose ad set budget optimization, what's gonna happen here is Meta algorithm will allocate our budget to the best winning creatives. Okay, so once it figures out which creative is performing well, then it's gonna allocate more budget to that specific creative. Okay, so this way we are not confused. So in this case, we don't need to create an A/B test. The only time we're gonna create an A/B test maybe at the ad set level, as if this is if maybe we trying to test different audiences, different demographics, different locations. That is the only time we're gonna perform an A/B test at a ad set level. But since we're only testing different ads, then we don't need to perform an A/B test. The Meta algorithm will do it for us naturally, by using ad set budget optimization to allocate our budget to the best performing um, ad. So this is our first ad. Again, when it comes to ad creation, when it comes to your creatives, it's either you are skilled, you have skills in editing tools such as Canva, because they also have templates that you can already find on Canva, or you can use the Canva AI. I think it's called Magic or something in those lines. You can use it to create your creatives for you by prompting it. So you need to be very good when it comes to prompting if you don't have editing or designing skills. But myself, I do have designing skills, so I use Canva most of the time. Sometimes I use AI, such as Gemini. They have a feature, I think it's banana AI, something like that, that will create images for you. Or you can even use ChatGTP. Okay, they both work the same as long as your prompt is clear enough and your prompt really defines your business objectives. Then you can use AI tools to assist you to come up with the best ad copy, to come up with the best creatives. Only if you know and you understand your business objective, and you know how to prompt these AI platforms to create something for you. Now we're gonna use this is our first image. Obviously we have different creatives and different headlines. So as you can see here, we're using different headlines, our primary text, our headline, our descriptions. So they differ per ad. Now this is our first ad. Now this is our second ad right here. is using a different creative. Let me do the advanced view. It won't show on one placement, which is audience network rewarded videos. But that's cool. We don't need it to show up there because it's not a video at the end of the day. This is our second creative. Obviously, um, it also has its own descriptions, headlines, and whatnot. Okay, so we're also testing that based on our business objective and what is it that we're trying to achieve. Now we have our third creative. So all of these creatives won't show on one placement, which is the audience network video. Now this is the last creative, which is a video, but it's not like like a specific video. It just, you know, let me show it to you so you can understand what I'm trying to explain. It's not like a video that goes through the course and all of that, because again, if you want to create videos like that, videos that explains your course, I mean explain what is it that you're trying to sell, gotta be specific with that also, especially when it comes to Instagram reels and TikTok reels. You need to come up with the best hook in your first 3 seconds if you're gonna create a video. Okay, you need to make sure that your first 3 seconds, they have a powerful message, they have a strong hook. Okay, so that is a very different situation. But in this case, we're not using that kind of a video. As you can see, these two are images, and this is a video with the background moving and all of that. Okay, now with all of that being said, we have our targeting, we have our creatives. We don't need to use A/B testing because the meta algorithm basically will do the same thing. It will allocate the budget to the most promising creatives, and then from there you can optimize and scale your ad gradually. What I do normally is I look at the monthly ad budget, and then with the monthly ad budget, because you need to understand how are you gonna use that budget, okay, to avoid budget leaks. So we're gonna look at different metrics like our click-through rate on the specific winning creative, how much click-through rate, the percentage of the click-through rate we're able to get. And then we're gonna look at our checkouts, the checkouts that were initiated based on that specific creative. And then again, we're gonna look at our conversions. Like I said, I'm gonna be using Google Tag Manager to track those conversions so that I can now, you know, because I'm gonna use a CRM, HubSpot CRM for those kind of conversions to understand my data better. So you're gonna track such things, the checkouts that were initiated, the conversions, the total conversions. Then you're gonna come up with, then you're gonna check the metrics such as the cost per click. How much did it cost a single person to click your ad? How much does it cost? Those kind of metrics that will help you. They will either tell you if your ad is taking up much of your ad spend, much of your ad budget. So they will give you that kind of information on what's happening on the budgeting side of things. Then we're gonna look at the metrics such as cost per acquisition. How much did it cost us for us to acquire that specific number of clients? So those kind of metrics, they're very important. Then our ROAS, our overall ROAS, our return on ad spend. Did we make profit or did we lose money? So all of these creatives, this is a testing phase. So what I do normally is I would break down the monthly budget by 20 to 30%. I will take 20 30 percent to perform a test for like 7 to 10 days. Then after the test has been performed, I now look at the metrics and the real data. Of course, we don't do guesswork. We look at the metrics to see which creatives performed well and how many creatives are we gonna kill and how many creatives are we gonna scale and come up with more conversions. So on the first 7 to 10 days, I will allocate 32%, 30% of our monthly budget to test, is the testing phase. And after this, the testing phase, then when it comes to scaling, we're gonna allocate the remaining 70 to 80% of our monthly budget to scaling. And when it comes to scaling, we're gonna scale gradually. We don't just, feed our ad with our the remainder of our budget. No, we're gonna scale gradually. Maybe after 1 to 2 days, then we're gonna allocate 20%, 10% of our budget, depending on our monthly budget and all of that. Then we're gonna allocate it just like that, gradually after 1 or 2 days. Okay. So with that being said, the only time I'm gonna come around is to show you the results of this specific campaign. I can't wait. I know you can't wait as well. Now let's see how the results are gonna be after 7 days.